Hello, everybody. Welcome back for another episode of BarTalk. I'm back.
She's back, bitches.
Hello?
I may not be as good as Alana,
No.
but this is technically my podcast.
Sorry.
So I am required to attend every once in a while.
Every once in a while. We've just been busy bees. Abigail's been a busy bee. She's been taking care of her shit, doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Tracy and Alana have not, so they've been podcasting.
And exactly. And we have not. So we've been here.
So they've been podcasting.
Missed you, though. Always miss you.
I know. I
miss your
you.
banter.
I know.
It always feels like an eternity when I don't podcast with you for a week and then we come back here and we podcast, and for some reason I'm just like, or if we're 1 week ahead and we start again, I'm like, oh my God, I feel like I haven't talked to you in forever.
Yeah.
But I see your ass every single day. So.
Every single day.
Yeah.
Sometimes just in passing, but every single day.
It's the
sometimes
hey,
she watches the Roadblocks character pass by the room a few times, and that's really our only interaction, but she still sees me.
And then we do the whole, wait, what was the meme we said? She's like, you doing okay? No. Okay, good. And then we walk away.
That's pretty much how the past several months have gone.
Honestly, though, it's a good relationship.
Yeah.
As long as we keep tabs on one another and we're like, you good? Yeah? No? Sounds good. We're just, and we could totally read the room too. Like, I know she's on a good day or bad day. She knows if I'm on a good day or bad day. And we don't even help. We're just like, you good? Yep. No?
There are times
good.
when I just sit and I don't speak and I just let life be around Tracy.
Yep.
And
I just look at her and we just nod.
Yep.
We're like, yeah.
Yeah. It ain't great in here. In
The
this old
vibes.
noggin today. And all of my energy juice has to go solely to my clients. So there will be no energy juice spared for you.
Okay, talk about energy juice. So we had a group flocker pickleball outing, which was a ton of fun. If anybody's in the Tallahassee area and wants to pickleball with the flockers, let me tell you, we got some pretty gnarly pickleball flockers on our hands. It was a ton of fun. And we were like, Abigail, you have to play pickleball. We were been telling her this for weeks and she never comes. So then finally this weekend, we dragged her ass out to celebrate her birthday. Whoop whoop, which is actually this week, but we won't be here. So
I just want to see the way you describe this scenario.
Well, because it was so, listen, this is true. We were on Saturday. We were like, okay, tomorrow we're going to wake up. You're going to do your shit. I'm going to do my shit.
This is
Alana's
Sunday.
going to do her shit.
On Saturday, we were talking about, Sunday, which was,
And we're like, we're all going to do our shit. We're going to be good human beings and get our shit done. And then we'll meet up and play pickleball and then go get dinner. And we were like, yeah, cool, good plan. And then I wake up, I do my shit. I clean my whole fucking house. I'm like, damn, I'm being productive AF. This is for my girls. And then I know Alana's at her family party and I know she's doing her shit. Abigail's doing her shit. And then we're ready to play pickleball. And Abigail's like, nah, I feel like I'm going to watch a movie. And I was like, what the fuck?
I never watch a movie. I didn't end up even watching a movie.
I knew it. I fucking knew it. So literally she texted me that and out loud I looked at my brother and said, she ain't gonna watch that movie. And he's like, what? And I said, Abigail ain't gonna come play pickleball and she's not even gonna watch a fucking movie.
Yeah.
Abigail doesn't watch movies.
Yeah, I don't.
And Abigail in the text literally said, I don't watch movies, but I'm gonna take advantage of this. I'm like, motherfucker, no, she's not.
I watched 5 minutes.
I knew it.
I know.
So anyway, we're going to play pickleball. Alana has her social battery just like tanks. She goes home to watch a movie at 3:00 in the afternoon. I'm still doing my thing.
That's insane that you can watch a movie at 3 p.m.
Dude, it's a Sunday,
I know.
relaxation.
I can't.
Obviously.
It was sunny. You can't, the sun is out, you can't watch a movie. Like, it's like,
I don't know. Sometimes
it's
I'm
a
good
math
for like
equation that doesn't work. Even if I'm not in the sun, I could be like, I could have fucking heat stroke and be dying. And they'd be like, you're required to stay inside and do nothing. And I'd be like, don't put a fucking movie on.
Dude, sometimes I just want to like curl up in a blanket like a worm and just watch a movie.
I know, I reject it. I like scrolled Instagram reels.
Oh my God.
And then I was like, what the fuck am I doing? And then I was like, let me read this book. And I like looked at the book and I was like, I can't read this book.
I even was like, it's 3:30. You can watch a movie and still meet us.
This
by
is a very
6.
long explanation, but basically.
Anyway, no. Anyway, we get there. She shows up. We're all playing pickleball. There's 12 of us out there.
Probably 2 hours, an hour and a half late.
She's an hour and a half late.
Yeah.
I'm like, Abigail, you should play. She plays. She's like, not great, but it's her first game ever. Scored a couple points. We almost won.
Dude, I had a fucking like straight up serving round.
She
where
did.
We got like 5 points.
She did. We did rally for a while.
And then after that right hand.
Yeah. And then
underhand
it's like, okay, let's get off the court and let these other people play. And I turn around and I'm like, where the fuck did Abigail go?
I was gone.
She was gone. She actually walked off the court directly into her car. She was there for a singular game. And I was like, what? Bye. And then she just drove away. And we were all like, group picture. Yeah, let's like have all the fun. And everybody goes, where's Abigail? I'm like, she gone. She left.
Yeah.
And she never came back.
No.
I think Mitzi texted her the peace sign. She was like, okay, bitch, bye. Like,
Mitzi
whatever.
didn't text me, but Rich he like responded to my Instagram story about drives to nowhere. And he said, is this what you left us to do? And I said, precisely. And he said, nice.
We're like, what the hell? So then we didn't play pickleball with Abigail and we didn't get dinner. However, we had a boss ass time with the Flockers. So you missed out. You missed out a lot.
I do. The pickleball was fun.
It's so much fun.
That was fun. That
Yeah.
was enjoyable.
It's so much fun.
Yeah.
Anyway,
What are we?
We got like, we have to talk about what
We
you
have
wanted
to-
to
yeah.
because we got a lot of people that were mad at us last week.
Yeah, because we promised we would and we didn't.
And I have a lot
We are
to say.
talking today.
No, I don't. There's a lot of different points.
We're talking today about what to do when your partner is not in alignment with your fitness goals, journey, lifestyle.
Dun dun dun.
I will preface this with Tracy's newly divorced and I am single.
Yeah.
So I can't guarantee that our advice will be to par.
However, we deal with this all the time.
But as trainers, we have had to navigate these realms before.
Ever since I started becoming a trainer, this has been a problem.
Yeah.
That has come up. Like ever since like day one of training, my first client ever, who I think you remember who she was.
Oh God, yeah.
The one that was super early in the morning.
Yeah.
I trained her like 4 times a
The
week.
Baker Act episode.
Yes, the
Baker
Baker
Acting
Act.
Pancakes. You can refer to Baker Acting Pancakes episode
Wow.
like fucking 5
I
or
can't
4.
even remember that. Yeah.
I remember everything.
Yeah, damn. But ever since like she was my first client, and I remember being like, oh shit, personal training is #therapy.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
What did I get myself into? No, just kidding. I love my job.
Yeah,
yeah.
I actually really love my job because then I can focus on everyone else's problems
Except for ours.
for
Yeah.
like 5 hours straight.
Yeah. I don't know. There's a lot of different things that it depends on the person, obviously, and the type of situation that they're in. But I think there's a lot of different points to hit about this type of episode.
I think the first major point is to approach always with a level of understanding and grace to your partner.
Yes.
Because you should ask yourself, where were you as a human when you were together?
Mm-hmm.
And where are you now?
Right.
And that may be a vastly different person, and they might not be a vastly different person. Who's in the right, who's in the wrong? I'm biased to this. However, I think that there still should be a level of understanding in the approach that you have with your significant other.
Mm-hmm.
This can also apply to family members or things like that. So anybody that you love, as to like, where were you guys at the beginning and where are you now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it doesn't.
So that's
have to
like,
be.
I will start there with
Right.
just like first, let's always come in grace.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And then we attack.
No. We don't fucking attack. That's where we get ourselves in trouble. Okay, one. But she's right. It doesn't have to be with a significant other. It could just be with family members in general. I do know a lot of people that, like, for example, we travel for races all the time. And like when I first got into them, a lot of my family members were like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You're spending a shit ton of money doing mud runs for what? And at the time, like, they didn't necessarily understand what my purpose was, but that's kind of like the beauty in trying to find yourself and evolve as a human being is like what my sole purpose to make myself better is different than somebody else's. But you have to have the sense of like meeting people where they're at and meeting people where they're able to grow and how that makes them a better human being.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like for my personal situation or like a lot of people's that I see, I think the biggest struggle for people is that they kind of get really defensive because they can see themselves growing, and they don't necessarily see their family members or significant other, brothers, sisters, whatever, growing in their ways. And so that's where that's where like the resentment starts to lie. But you growing into your hobby can be multiple different things, and it could be multiple different avenues.
I have a couple things to say about this.
Go ahead, hit me.
I'm very excited. I think one, there is the one thing is there needs to be communication around the subject, right? So that resentment doesn't build. And then two, I think there needs to also be not just an understanding that we prefaced before, but an understanding that your partner is not supposed to be wearing all of the hats for you.
Yeah, we just talked about this, filling all the voids.
So I think for one, it's how important is this hat? Very important. Okay. Then maybe the significant other needs to be, or family member or whatever needs to be a part of that. Do they need to wear that hat? Do they need to be a part of that with you? Do they need to at least support that? Whatever part you feel like this is what I need from them is, figure that out first. So like maybe it's like I actually need a partner who's also going to be healthy and work out with me. Maybe it's I just need a partner who's going to support what I do. Maybe it's I just need a partner who's not going to give me shit for what I do. Like, or family member, brother, sister, whatever loved one. Insert loved one here, right? Figure out where on the spectrum of like hat wearing situation, where do we need to be at? Yeah. Then you can go in with communication and say, hi, person I love very much. I understand that you are not here, right? Let me try to help you understand why I'm going here, where I'm at, whatever. This is what is important to me. Invite them, obviously, to be along for whatever ride you're coming on. Hopefully you want them to be a part of that. Outline the expectations or the desires that you have for their part in that. And then wait for a response. I think part of it is like some people just don't even want to have the conversation.
Yeah, they just do it.
And they're like, my mom just doesn't understand. My siblings make fun of me for eating healthy on Thanksgiving. I didn't eat like a whole plate of stuffing and they were making fun of me and it really hurt my feelings. And it's like, well, did you even communicate to them how important this is to you? Like, did you communicate to them that like you would really appreciate some support from them? Maybe this is very hard for you to like not eat the whole plate of stuffing, whatever. So like, I think communication is number one. Yes. Number two is like figure out what you really need from them too, because again, your partner doesn't always have to be there to do everything. Like it might be that you're like, I love my spouse because they're a great human and a great father or a great we travel together and he's fucking hilarious. She's fucking hilarious. We love each other. And then I have my workout buddies that I work out with. And, he or she or whoever stays healthy enough that I'm not worried about their health. Yep. I'm not worried about them like getting fat and dying. And we're good. Yeah. I guess that takes us to the next level, which is like, let's say you have the conversation, it's not working, you really need them to get healthier, you're concerned for their health and well-being, or they're still giving you shit and you're just like having the rough time. So they're not in support of you, you need support. They're not healthy at all, you need them to be healthy. Those I think are the two issues that are the most like this could be a fucking problem.
Yeah, I mean, in a fitness sense, right? Like you always, especially if you're already in the fitness realm, I think that's where it becomes a big issue because it's almost like you're trying to impose what you've already done and collected onto your significant other, because now you realize how important it is to be healthy, and like some people don't have that relationship with fitness, and so it makes this huge strain because now your expectations of them are totally different than where they were when you first started. And I think that's a big communication gray area-esque because everybody's family tree is different, and maybe you have just realized in your 30s that your wife's parents are all diabetics and they're all overweight and they don't take care of themselves, and you just got into fitness and you're like, holy shit, my wife needs to be healthy. Like this, she has got a bad line here. She's got a bad history. Like what happens to our family? What happens to our kids? And you might not realize that until late in the game. But I think that from experience, like that's a communication that you both need to have out of like a concerning mindset
and
rather
love.
than try to
yeah.
instead of like being their trainer. Like you're not their trainer, right? Like you want to grow with them. You want them to be healthy for you and your family. And that's just a type of communication that's different, like for everybody, because everybody's family line is different, you know?
Oh, I have so many things to say about this.
But as far as like hobbies go, and let's just say like outside of the fitness realm, whatever you find is your best thing for you that makes you grow. Like me and Abigail were having this conversation the other day, and like she said, your partner is not supposed to wear all the hats. And I'm kind of like I wouldn't say like a stickler, but I just believe this very firmly. Like there are a lot of things that your significant other gives to you, but I don't think it's every single thing. I think that creates a sense of like codependency that you really shouldn't need, and you weren't before you met them, right? Like you were an independent person that met somebody to fill some voids, but your significant other isn't necessarily meant to do that. They're only human. And so like the type of, you know, void that your significant other or like mine at the time filled, I wouldn't get that same reaction or response like from my friends or from my group of people that I found at the gym. Like you guys fill a different type of void for me than my family and my friends do. And in turn, because you guys do that for me, I'm a better person for them.
Right.
And so if I have my hobbies, I think it's perfectly healthy and fine for your friends, your family, your significant other to have their own hobbies, because as they fill their voids with their friends and their people, and
I wouldn't argue, I wouldn't say void. I think you'd probably agree. Like fill your cup.
Yeah. Like fill your cup in different ways that they come back to you as a better human being as well. Because I mean, don't get me wrong, we're only human. There's only so much that I'm able to give to you as a partner or
as a friend.
Sister, as a
there
friend.
Are things that I have standards for in a friendship, but I surely don't expect you to do everything for me. I surely don't expect you to like always be there and always be listening and also do all of these things for me and also be my fitness buddy and also like I don't have those expectations. Right. Like I love you. Right. Who you are. And like
and where we meet each other.
And sometimes I'm pulling the rope a little harder and sometimes you're pulling the rope a little harder. Right. And it's like, I think that part of that when it comes to partners and that in like the relationship with fitness is like, you can't expect them to start coming along on the rope you're pulling that quickly. No. I think that's also like people will build resentment very rapidly because they're like, I'm on this journey, fucking hop along. And it's like, well, how long did it take for you to get there? And that's your journey. Yep. So like give them some time. Yep. And it might be that they are trying and you guys aren't communicating about that. Or maybe they're trying and you're just like, they're not trying hard enough. And I would challenge you to like, just be patient, you know, try and look for, it's like, okay, how did they support me here? Right. You know, maybe it's like, maybe they went on a couple walks with you this week. You know, maybe they helped you meal prep. Yeah. Maybe they suggested a really healthy restaurant that you like, that you just noticed. You're like, okay, normally we go here, and they suggested we go here, and they know that restaurant has like better food options, and you can communicate that to them. Thank you so much for picking this place. I love this place. You know, like it means so much to me that you prepped this food for me. Yeah. Like I absolutely I love that you went on a walk with me. This was so incredible. Like, and that leads to another point is like finding intimacy in activity with one another. Part of it, I think, is you start on this own journey and they feel that you are leaving them. Yeah, they get jealous. And I think that if you can bring them along and be like, honestly, just like, babe, I like love working out with you. Like, I think it's so hot. Like, I think it's so fun. I absolutely enjoy this time with you. Like, finding some form of intimacy, and it doesn't even have to be sexual intimacy, like intimacy in activity. Being together. Like, I love meal prep Sundays with you. Like, it is so fun to do that. I love getting up in the morning on Saturday and going on a walk with you. Yeah. Like, just little things like that. And always hinting on the positive and not the negative so that resentment doesn't build in you, and also they don't feel that you are resentful of them and that you are isolating yourself from them. Yeah. I think that if you can like constantly, I think that people are like, whether they like it or not, they say, oh, I'm a negative reinforcement person. No, everybody is a positive reinforcement person if it's done in the right time, at the right frequency, and the right amount. So like, if you can say, this is what I love. Instead, maybe all week they were like, you're working out again, blah, blah, blah. And they were kind of bothering you. And you're just like, babe, this is important to me, whatever. And you're trying to be very kind. The one thing, let's say it's like, hey, babe, I know you have a workout in the morning. Let's go to bed early. Just be like,
just do something
I
to get them
appreciate you
involved,
doing that. And just make sure you highlight that I appreciate so much that you did that. I like really, that means a lot to me that you wouldn't, you weren't trying to get me to watch this show late at night because I have a workout in the morning.
Right.
Always highlighting on the positive. And then always trying to find ways to not necessarily bring them along to your crew,
but bring them along together.
But just even alone.
I was just about to say, so like the biggest thing that like I find in my relationship and like others is that sense of jealousy really stems from them noticing that, okay, a lot of people are like, they just notice that like I'm becoming better or I'm starting to look better or
they
I'm
have
doing
a life
this,
outside of me.
But that's what it is
right.
Like what the deep rooted issue is that you are now doing things with other people that they feel like you should just be doing with them. You're having experiences and emotions and laughter and fun and all of these different milestones are happening in your life that you're not getting to experience with your significant other. And it hurts because you realize that like that is not something that they could do for you. And like you look at them and you're like, damn, like I couldn't hit that milestone with them because that's just, I wasn't there for that, or I wasn't able to help them fill their cup in that way. And it is a sense of kind of like disappointment in a way. Like, that's kind of what it really stems from. And maybe, they're a little bit jealous about how you look and the weight that you lost and the PRs that you're getting. But like all that shit really is just bunch of fluff that is thrown on top of the major hurt of you kind of like separating yourself. But in a way, like you said, like the positive reinforcements and like affirmations that you give your partner outside of that are just really important because you're justifying like, hey, this is my little piece of paradise. That way I can come back and tell you how sexy you are doing this shit. Or like we can go kayaking together. Or like, like, hey, why don't we do this together? And like these moments on Sundays, or we go date night once a week, or we do this together, or whatever is your piece of the puzzle that y'all just have together, you have to hold very close and you have to continuously date in that way. But you being with your friends and doing other things with your family members or whatever it is that your hobby is, shit, go play chess for all I care. I don't care. Right. But like the other people that you find are just, they're not taking you away. They're making you a better person for your partner, but you have to show your partner that. Yeah. That's the biggest thing.
I think another thing too is that I'll hear is they're like, well, they don't want to do my thing because it's my thing. And I can actually totally understand that, right? You formulated this life outside of me and I feel kind of like, I don't want to just go into your group and like, I want to have my thing. And so if you know your partner, your family member, right, the loved one very well, and you have an idea like, I really think that they would enjoy maybe not running Spartan races, but I really think they would enjoy grappling. Okay, let's just throw this out. Then you could be like, babe, why don't we try this self-defense class together? And it's totally separate and it's whatever. Or like, babe, let's do salsa dancing lessons together. Yeah. Like, I think that'd be so fun. And you can, one, still find that intimacy and activity, or two, you can just introduce them to that area. And then they can be like, babe, this is like my thing. And you can be like, cool, bye. Like, and they can have their thing and you can have your thing. And you guys can both be very active. You're going to their tournaments. They're going to your races, like, and there's still all of the, I love you, I'm here, we're a team, but you guys have your things.
Right. And that's a key too, is like being a team. Like one thing that you can't forget that I know that was kind of like lost is that you are each individual people that are choosing to live life together. Yes. And so you are made in that way that you are ever changing and ever evolving, and you have to be willing to adapt the way that they are ever changing and evolving. So like as time goes on, maybe you're into pickleball right now, and then maybe in 2 years you're into grappling, and then in 2 years you're into golf. And like you just have to make sure that the person that you surround yourself with, no matter who it is, you're always willing to keep an open mind about how they're ever evolving and ever changing, and accept them for where they're at. Because what they're doing right now is not going to be what they're doing in 5 years. And maybe people do fitness until they're freaking, blue and dead. But it looks different. But it looks different for everybody. Yeah. And some people will do Spartan races right now. And maybe they'll have like 10 weeks and 5 years or however long of powerlifting, and just everybody's journey, no matter what you're doing, is going to change. And you just have to be open and willing to accept that. But also you have to be willing and open to accept like your partner in the same way. So you can't expect somebody to just accept you for where you're at if you're not doing the same. And so if your partner's playing chess and I'm out here doing a powerlifting competition, like you can't forget to say like, if you don't want to go to that chess match because it's boring as shit, right? Still love on it. Like, I don't know a shit. I don't know a thing about chess. I don't know a thing about golf. I do not want to sit there and watch golf. I think it's boring as shit. Yeah. But like, I will ask you how you did and I will try to understand the best I can. And I'll let you go out with your boys and have a good time and drink on the 18 holes. And then you can come back and we do something together. Because while you were doing that and filling your cup, I was out running in the trails, getting poison sumac, cutting up my legs. Right. And then we come back together and we go kayaking on the Wississa by ourselves. Right. Yeah. So like you meet each other where you're at that time and you accept and love on one another, but then you have that life together.
I think also another thing is to never stop inviting them. So like, even if they don't have their thing and they're kind of not really like, maybe they're struggling with the whole, like, we're working out alone together, doing activity, fun, healthy things together. Just always never stop inviting them. I think that, you know, people stop being like, oh, they don't want to go. They always say no. And it's like, just keep asking. Always, always, always extend the invitation because there could be a day, right? Just like that you change, that they do, that maybe they're too afraid to ask now at this point to come along to whatever it is.
Or they feel outcasted.
Yeah. And so just never stop inviting them. Never stop pushing the health. Hey, babe, I really, I'm going to make this for my meal prep this week. Do you want me to make you any? You know, hey, I'm going on a walk. Do you want to come with me? Hey, I'm going to go to the gym and meet up a couple people. Do you want to come with me? Yeah, like totally. Always, do you want to come? Can you come? Like, I would love to have you. Always extending the invitation and not getting discouraged in that.
Yeah.
There's always going to be those people that, despite all of these things, are still going to be resistant to change, are still going to not support you, are still going to be bitter and resentful, are still going to have problems, are not even going to want to be doing anything active at all with you, with nobody. And they're just, those are just people who are not, they cannot adopt a growth mindset. And frankly, they're not really loving you back. Like, if I'm being honest, it's like a hard thing to say, but it's like, if they can't love you enough to sacrifice a little bit of themselves, like compromise a little bit of themselves.
It's one of those things where it's like, if what you did I thought was dumb as shit, if you were happy, I'm still happy.
Right.
You know, that's kind of like the point, is like, you could go outside and pick rocks as a hobby, and I could think it's the most ridiculous thing that I've ever seen in my whole freaking life. Yeah. But if that's what you do, is digging for worms, and it makes you happy, I mean, I'm still gonna ask you how many worms you got.
Yeah, because
it makes you happy.
Well, and also, it's just, fitness is something that's a little bit, it's like not really something you can cover. It's like, you have to, you do want to live to see an old age with me.
Yeah.
You know, it's a very serious thing. And I think that it brings out a lot of emotions in a lot of people, because it ends up bringing up a lot of other areas in your life that you feel maybe you've fallen short, or it ends up exposing a lot of things within yourself that maybe you are uncomfortable having be exposed.
Right.
But it's really important. And so maybe you're the person listening that's on the other side, that you're the partner. I really encourage you to, like, not just to love the person, but also to love yourself, like, to do something for yourself. Because I think that engaging in zero physical activity, zero healthy, like, no healthy lifestyle choices, it's not going to just hurt the relationship, but it will hurt you.
Yeah. And, you know, especially like people that have families, like, I'll say this, like, from my personal experience, fitness is just very hard, because it, like you said, it brings out a lot of things that you just, like, don't necessarily want to tap into or never really thought about before. And I think it's a very, like, touchy subject, but at the end of the day, every person that is in that gym, every single person that you see at Momentum did not just walk into Momentum just because they saw it on the side of the road. Like, they have a why as to why they're there, and it's always normally not them. Like, yeah, okay, some people walk in, they're like, I want to be an Instagram famous model, but like really they got some guy they're trying to impress, or like they have family shit that they have going on, or like they're a dad and they're your client and they're like, I wasn't even able to play soccer for my kids. Like I'm out of breath. Like I want to look hot for my husband while I'm cooking food. Like there's just always like that why, and a lot of times it's really not for them. Like it is for them, and we try to make it for them. Like as a trainer, I'm like, hey, be selfish. It's okay. Like you can look, I want you to look in the mirror and feel really good in your skin, but you're also doing it for other people and to live a long life for your family or for yourself or whatever. Like me personally, I have like addiction runs in my family. I have like, breast cancer in my family. I have like autoimmune disease in my family. Am I the type of person that wants to sit down and have that be a part of my life? No, like the change has to come somewhere. I was very blessed that I had parents that got me into sports as soon as I could freaking walk, right? But they were the ones that saw like there's a lot of stuff going on, and they still dealt with their own shit growing up, but they impacted us in a way to make me and my brother know like that stops here. And like we either can run with it or we can kind of realize that like I don't want that in my family. And I want to be the best mother eventually to whatever kids, adopted kids, whatever the hell it is that I have someday, or the partner that I have someday. Like I hope to be that healthy body for them, So even though I might be alone right now, that's my future. That's my why.
Well, the external will often reflect the internal, and the internal will definitely reflect externally. And so if you are unhealthy, let's put aside all physical impairments or problems that you could come across in the future. You're also just not going to be operating at a high capacity for life, like for your kids, for your family, for your significant other. And I think that is selfish. And so there are going to be people that are listening to this on both sides. Both of them probably a little pissed. Where there are times when it is just unresolvable. Like there are going to be times when it's like the other person is so resistant to any change, and the other person has really like fucking pulled out all the stops and is just like, I'm going this way, and I can't even, like, I'm getting dragged down because of you. And there's going to be a point where you have to part ways, and like that's also a part of life, and that is also okay. Like that is also something that is okay. Like
it's growth.
Relationships end, like it sucks, but like that is what happens. So and we've seen that happen as well. So it's sad, but I think that there are a lot of things that people can do before that happens to help influence the end result of that. I think that also the people who are doing the growth and the changing, you have to understand that, again, because the other person is not as healthy and is not growing yet and is not really changing yet, and they're not operating at full capacity, you're going to have extra patience. Because they're
not in the same timeline as you.
They're not in the same timeline as you, and they're also not in the same mental space as you. They're probably in a worse mental space. So they're usually going to be the ones that are doing less and also giving more shit. And that's hard.
It's very hard to deal with.
Also, like, don't just take our advice. Like, maybe go see a therapist as well, like professional, like health, people who.
We're just talking on personal experience.
I should have started with that. We should have started with that. Like, go see a therapist, please, because I'm fucking 23 years old and I like am single and borderline shove everyone away that tries to come into my life because
Abigail's like put up the hard circle with the red circle with a line emoji.
I have put up all the walls. Yeah, if you go back to episode with all the doors. If you go back to all the doors numbers. I have no doors.
There was 6 and now we're at 0.
I have no doors. I actually like put myself in a jail cell and I said, Tracy.
She closed it and locked it up.
Take this key and throw it. I actually eat it.
She said swallow it.
Swallow it. And I can't leave and nobody can come in. And I'm in hell.
We're learning. We're in Inferno right
Tracy says she's going to put up walls, but she's like way too nice and awesome and open to put up walls. She'll be like, hey, like over the wall. She'll be like, I'm putting up these walls. And then somebody like really awesome will come around. She'll be like, oh my God, hey.
No, but
Who are you? Who are you? And I'll be like behind the wall.
Like, don't let me in.
I'll have the fucking machete or the machete.
I'm the person that even introduces
gun.
her to like all of my friends.
I know.
Like all of the people that have come around in our lives that have been on the podcast or like been a part of my Spartan career in life is because like I am just the loving personality butterfly and Abigail's like, I'm still in my cocoon.
I'm like,
and
like
she just hasn't come out yet. And I'm
with
like,
the gun.
This person's really cool. We should talk to them. And she's like, no one can be a part of our crew. And then she's like, oh my God, I love them.
Well, it depends. Sometimes I'm over there and I'm like, are they safe? Like I'm behind the wall. I'm like the security check. I'm like, who the fuck are you? And Tracy's like, come on in. She lets everyone in. She's just like, come in. And I'm like, who are you? And then when they tell me I like them, I'm like, hey, you know, and I'm super, and that's why if you go back to I'm like referring to all these previous episodes, listen up. If you go back to the Utah episode, Mike,
he was like, she's like, so mean, she's gonna kill me. And then he looked at her and he's like,
you're my favorite.
I love Abigail. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, dude, she's really not that bad. Like, she's not scary. He's like, I thought she was going to drop kick me only from knowing her from her Instagram. And I was like, yeah, I know. She puts on you got a really hard shell, but Abigail's actually like a really soft little teddy bear in the inside sometimes.
I was talking with Megan, one of my very good friends, about her like initial meeting me, and most people's initial meeting me. She's like, it's very interesting because most people you'll get to know somebody and you'll really like them at first, and then you'll get to know and you'll find all of these like really horrible things about them, and you just like won't get along or whatever relationally as well. And she's like, but with you, it's like you like meet them and you're like, God, I don't really know if I like this bitch. Like Abigail's kind of like hard and kind of mean and a little intimidating, weird, and then you get to know her and you're like, wow, I fucking love her. Like she's really
she's
incredible.
Actually a really cool, like, soft, loving person and outside of this fucking turtle shell that she has up all the time.
Yeah, I'm like a warhead, so I'm a warhead candy. I'm like, you put the warhead and you're like, oh,
the sour but sweet,
and then you keep sucking it and you're like, wait, this is kind of good. And then you're like, why do I keep eating these? And you keep eating them.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
and I'm in the person in the commercial just constantly handing people candy. Like, I'm just like, try this one, try this one, try this
Tracy's
one. Tracy's
what is the candy?
I am just the like, social butterfly.
What's the candy that's just like everyone loves first taste?
Like Reese's.
Dude,
Reese's Puffs. Reese's Puffs.
Yeah, she's a Reese's for sure. Everyone, dude, Reese's are delicious. Like,
Fast
you bite
break.
into them. You're like, these are good.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like, I'm fucking fat now. Get away from me.
Get away from me. Way too much of the swirl.
Yeah.
You actually need a timeout, and then I can come back to you in about a couple weeks.
Yeah. You're like, oh, I've eaten like 4. I'm full. I've had 300,000
I'm just that
calories.
loud, obnoxious, like get to know everybody, love on you type of person.
Yeah, because one Reese's is like 300 calories. You're like, fuck, dude.
But that's why we like balance each other out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it just works that way.
Yeah.
You fill my cup in other ways, Abigail.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much.
Because the warhead's like 3 calories?
Yeah,
Nobody even wants to eat that shit.
Yeah. I have like 2 and I'm like, I'm not having this for the rest of the fucking year.
Dude, do warheads even exist anymore?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Fun fact, the guy, not warheads, Dan, what is
Can
that?
I say I'm a Sour Patch Kid? Warheads are too terrible.
Wait, that's what it is.
Can I say I'm a Sour Patch Kid?
Sour Patch Kids are sour but sweet, not warheads.
No, warheads are too. Warheads are the ones that are like bitter as fuck.
Yeah, but what's the commercial that's like sour but sweet?
That's Sour Patch.
Right, that's what you are.
Okay, that I like better because Sour Patch Kids are a little bit. Most people like Sour Patch Kids more. Warheads, I don't even know if they exist. They're
Warheads
that bad.
Definitely still exist. But fun fact, you know the Altoid sour candies? The Altoid sour candies that used to have the coating on them? No. Are you too young for that? They're definitely not made anymore.
You're too young for that.
Yeah, well, because...
Are you too young?
Bruh, you too young for that, bruh.
What the fuck are you
Noggin. Dude.
Fist bump.
Yeah. Anyway... The sour dudes. The guy at Lofty Pursuits, dude, makes them and he's fucking famous,
bro. God damn, brother.
He's YouTube famous.
Okay.
Yeah, and those are definitely not. I used to suck
your
on them
brother.
Suckers. Yeah, but I used to actually suck on them until my mouth was raw, and they were the best. And then I was like, "Oh my god, what happened to these?" And they were like crack. Yeah, you and then when we moved to Tallahassee, I did.
Yeah, I did.
And then when I went to Tallahassee,
actually, you know, Tracy knows. No, she didn't.
I went to Tallahassee and I went to Lofty Pursuits and they had those Sour Patch candies and I was like, bro, dude. And I bought them and I found out this guy is famous. He's got like millions of followers on YouTube and he sells them like hotcakes every week. You got to go in there, try to get the best ones.
I think I know what you're talking about. Lofty Pursuits, yeah.
Yeah, like the candy store or whatever.
I know what you're talking about.
I only go there for the Warheads or the Sour Patch.
They got good ice cream, I think.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They do.
My friend used to work there and I used to get free ice cream.
Really?
Also, side note, my friend, he's a bartender at Aluso and he can hook us up when we go. So when it's officially official, we'll go to Aluso. I love Aluso. Also because I have that gift card.
To Aluso?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. We got a gift card to Aluso. So if you've never been to Aluso and you're in Tallahassee, you're missing out.
No.
They have squid
it
ink
sucks.
pasta.
Don't go. It sucks. Don't go.
True. So where's that place that we got the cool croissants for your birthday?
Oh, so does a Pêche Mignon. Don't go there either.
Yeah,
don't
go there. The place sucks.
Terrible.
So bad. They have like these crazy
bad.
croissants and macarons.
Yeah, and they literally like were already sold out of chocolate croissants at 11 a.m. and it opened at 10 a.m. But don't go.
Mm-hmm.
It's terrible.
Yeah, it's terrible. Okay, anyway.
Is there anything else to talk about? We went really off topic there for a second. Should we summary it?
Maybe.
I don't even know what to summarize.
I just think that a lot of didn't listen here. Here's the trick. A lot of people wanted us to do this episode and we didn't, and a lot of people got mad at us. And I feel like people might be mad at us for what we said, but like we said, we're not therapists. We just have been doing this since like day one.
What do you want us to say?
Right.
Kill them.
Yeah, no.
Cheat on them.
It's
like,
literally,
what the fuck
it's love, it's acceptance, like love. Let me
summarize this.
That's all I'm going to say.
Okay. I was going to say, let me just do the summary because I don't.
Pop a shot of tequila.
What?
Have a good time.
All right. Start by figuring out what the hat they need to wear. Communicate. Okay. Mm-hmm. Always come in love. Don't expect them to pull when you're pulling the rope. Don't expect them to follow as quickly as you. Mm-hmm. Always positive reinforcement. Always inviting them. Trying to find activity and intimacy, or intimacy and activity. Helping them find potentially their own thing.
Yeah.
And one little step at a time. And then if we did touch on that. And if all else fails, ditch them.
In the nicest way possible.
No, if all else fails, like couples therapy,
mm-hmm.
For sure, or family therapy or whatever that may be, mm-hmm. And then ditch.
Or just come in and bitch to us, and we'll kick your ass in a training session, and that'll be it.
I am like, yeah. I think,
that's what we'll do. We're
maybe
here for
that's
you.
why I like training youth athletes so much, because I'm like, those are like the 30 minutes where they come in and they're just like,
you're just like
but there's no problems.
There's no drama ever.
Yeah. Well, they do have a little drama. They'll be talking about some crazy
shit.
Kids
are ruthless these days.
They'll be talking about, they're like 12 and they're like, that 14-year-old girl, I heard you kissed her. And I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Better not be tearing that shit up in a training session at 12 years old. They can't be doing that.
I know. They're like talking about like these 14-year-old girls up in there texting them.
The drama doesn't start until you're at least
First of all, I'm
15.
building fucking studs.
Yeah.
Because these 14-year-olds are hitting on my 12-year-old kids.
Okay, facts.
So, studs.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, what the fuck are the other 14-year-old boys like? Why are the options so bad? Third, I have no third. Like, what's the height difference like?
Yeah.
Because I feel like 12 to 14 is like a lot of growth.
Yeah, it is. But I don't know. Kids these days, you can't even tell what their age is. Like the kids that you train, sometimes they come in and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I would have thought that you were not 10. They all look older. I don't know what's in the water these days, but like kids, they're on some next level stuff.
I have a couple where they do look so little still. And I'm like, you're 12, but you look like 6.
That's what I'm saying. So her youth athletes want to come on our podcast.
Oh, yeah.
So bad. They've been asking us nonstop.
I think we might.
I think we might let them.
I think we should really bring at least Chase and Hunter on.
Yeah.
Because they're like my OG.
They want to do the Would You Rather?
Yeah, Chase.
Is that what they want to do?
Chase goes, yo, I got the Would You Rather app on my phone.
Chase is Brooke's kid, right?
Yeah, dude. Also, like, talk about the whitest. He's like 13 now. The whitest 13-year-old kid you've ever seen.
Dude, but he's with it like that.
He acts like he is black as night.
Yeah, he acts like shit.
I'm like, first of all, Chase,
he's witty,
I don't know.
Chase.
Huh?
He's witty. He'll come at you like that.
He is super witty, but also like, I'm like, dude, we gotta, hey, what's up, Chase? You're white. Like, what is going on?
Like, what are you doing?
Also, if I put anything on other than rap for the kids, I always have to look up like clean rap hits for God. Because I don't want somebody to walk in and these parents to be like, what are these 2-year-old kids?
We just need to like wash my mouth out with soap before we have the episode so I don't feel really bad.
Dude, Tracy will come in sometimes. I got my cute little like sweet 11-year-old girls I'm training, and Tracy will come in and she'll be like, what up, bitch? And I'm like, God damn.
Well, because you do that all day, and then you catch me off guard. You catch me in like a 5-second moment where I just so happen to not be doing anything, and I'm like, there's my bitch. And then I don't realize they're so tiny. They're standing behind you doing something, or you're across the room, and then I like say it, and then I turn around, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
And they like won't say anything. They're like, is that your friend?
Oh my God.
And I'm like, no, I don't know her.
I have the mouth of a sailor. I'm sorry. I love
don't know
everybody.
Her. Tell your mom I don't know her.
I'm unassociated. She does not do the podcast with me. They shouldn't even be listening. I have it on explicit for a reason, so that way those kids do not listen to us.
Oh, those kids, dude, they'll listen to our reels. They'll like watch our Instagram stories. And I'm like, I am so careful now as to what I post. I'm like, I don't think I have since, and I don't think I ever will post a bikini photo because I'm just like terrified.
Because they have us on Instagram?
They have us on Instagram. And I'm so terrified that these like 12-year-old boys are gonna go through my like
That's
story.
My trainer.
Yeah,
they're gonna be showing everybody at school.
Right.
Look at my trainer.
Right. They're gonna be like, look at my trainer, took her in a bikini, and I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna kill myself
after they hit a home run. They hit a home run and be like, look at my trainer in a bikini.
Oh my
God,
so bad. I mean, and I probably have photos from a long time ago, like in a bikini somewhere that they just scrolled and have found already.
Boys will be boys.
Boys will be boys.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, this episode is unraveling.
Okay. Well, we love everybody. And, you know, if you would like a therapy session, we're always here for all of our clients.
Reconsider. Maybe go to an actual therapist first.
And then
we're basically as expensive. So we're essentially as expensive.
Yeah, we are.
So just pick one. But I guess they get 2 for 1. They get fit and therapy with us. So
facts.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Anyways.
All right. Love you guys.
All right. Peace out.
Bye.
We'll see you next week.
Oh my God, what are we doing?